We wanted to have everything moved out of the apartment by end of today. We are going to a wedding in the Okanagan for 3 days starting tomorrow, and our plan was to come back and just have to clean. And let me just give you a little tour of where we're at. Say hi. Honestly, you would think we just are still actively living here. Nobody tells you that as an adult, you actually have to like spend money to get rid of your furniture. You don't make money off of it. I think when we first looked at all of our stuff, we thought we were going to sell a lot, recoup lots of money to be able to then go purchase new things in Hong Kong. We've sold like nothing. You just really realize that so much of your stuff isn't actually worth anything to somebody else, like isn't worth it for somebody else to spend money on. If I had to choose a single word to sum up the whole experience, it would absolutely be humbling. And some of the stuff we have is like really old like hutches, which we have found out are like out of style, or maybe just that like people they're no longer wanted by people, and Darren's in the background saying it's because people don't have taste. But I think in reality people don't have space in Vancouver for like large pieces of furniture, and so what we thought we would maybe make like, you know, $250 off of was absolutely nothing. And then a friend actually gave me a website that takes donations to help people set up their homes. And even on that list, it says like, if you have a hutch, we don't want it, but you can pay us $200 to take it off your hands. But in the end, after asking like every single person we know if they would like this hutch, Darren came across a neighbor who'll be taking it from us. So yay, that one's a win. This shelf has been cleaned though, so I have to finish taking all of my products off of it, which has been a lot harder than I thought. There's a lot of stuff in here that I just love so much and I just can't bring myself to get rid of, even though there's like not a lot left. Like anything in this Kerastase line, it's empty. There's probably 2 little tiny pumps left, but I don't want to get rid of it. But I'm probably not going to be able to use it in time because there's a ton of stuff on here that have like just a couple pumps left. Some of these have hair in it. Even if I'm giving it to my brothers, I don't want it to look gross. I also just started using this African Chebe line and I'm really in love with it. It's by Design Essentials. Bittersweet that I fell in love with this too late. Look at the side here. Initial wipe down of dust and grime. Shouldn't be filming this, but what the...
Thank you.
No, thank you.
I'll have to send you a photo when I put it in this new home.
Oh, please do.
I got it. I like this moving vlog. I'm not gonna do this all the time.
I'm not. There is also this really weird thing around like being sentimental about stuff and like who we decide to give certain things to. Like we have all of our, what I think is pretty nice dishware, and Darren offered it to like the kid who was cutting his hair, and I think he's like 18 and is just about to move out, and I got a little defensive because I was like, those were wedding gifts. Those are super nice. Like I want to give it to somebody I know and like care about, but does it really matter? Like if we can help him out? If we even give it to a family member, are they gonna be like, oh, these are Kay and Darren's dishes, wedding dishes? Probably not. They'll just become normal dishes in their household. They only actually mean something to us. There is something though that a friend of mine's mom had told me, and her husband had just gone through some pretty big moves themselves and downsizing. And she was saying how, yes, you know, you might say something is super sentimental and it has to go in a box as a keepsake. Then you open that box again like 6 months later and you're like, why did I keep this? This was trash. That was so silly. But she was saying not to be like upset with yourself about that, and that that's just part of the process. Like you weren't actually ready to get rid of it at that time, and you needed that type of closure in a sense, even if it was just sitting in a box somewhere doing nothing for you, taking up space. Like you just simply weren't ready to say no to it at that time, and you are 6 months later, and that's okay. We know we have to be insane to take a 3-day trip right before we're moving out and right before we're leaving the country. We went back and forth on if we were going to go the entire 3 days. We considered driving up the day of the wedding, which would be about a 4-hour drive, and then driving back at night afterwards. But that was probably going to burn us out more in the long run, and I think a part of both of us knew that this trip was important. The Okanagan has always had a really special place in our heart, and for a long while we were considering moving up here. So not only was it a way to say goodbye to a place that has brought us a lot of peace and respite over the years, but it was also a great way to spend time with Darren's parents and a lot of his extended family, because it was his cousin's wedding as well as his aunt and uncle's birthday. That being said, on the drive home, I think the panic and reality of everything really started to hit home. Everything is chaos. I've been putting off cleaning my desk because I've been working at it up until this very moment. I've been really protective of it, not wanting to give it away until the last minute, and as a result, it's also just become piled with all the things I want to deal with later, but later has come. Honestly, we're looking kind of good. The room's looking empty. This is leaving shortly. That's leaving shortly. Darren's running around doing drop-offs of furniture, and probably not the best use of my time that I'm sitting here like re-editing my pile of makeup, trying to decide what to bring or not, because the remainder of all our possessions that we're gonna take need to fit in this suitcase. The only suitcase we have left. Everything else has to fit in there, so I have to be more selective with my makeup. I'm being probably too precious with a lot of my products. I've given away so much. I've put tons in a box for donation, but I still can't bring myself to get rid of these. And so whatever fits, I'm gonna take. So I don't know how, but it's moving day. And we're simultaneously doing really well and not at all. We've kind of reached the point where we didn't give away everything we needed to, and we also can't fit everything we want to bring with us in all our suitcases. So we're shoving things in garbage bags and boxes and totes to take out of the apartment so that we can clean it, have our inspection done and everything, and then dump it all at our poor parents' place to sort at a later date. But on a fun side, there's now enough space in my apartment to dance and do handstands and stuff. Time to get back to work. Help pulled through once more as Darren ran around dropping off loads of stuff around town. We packed up the last few things around the apartment, like our wedding wine bottles. Then we moved on to a deep clean. It really felt surreal as we tried to restore our home back to how we had found it years and years ago. Especially because we didn't make money selling our possessions, we wanted to make sure we got our damage deposit back. Honestly, so grateful for friends and family, and that we didn't have to do this all alone. And then before we knew it, it was time for our landlady to come in. So relieved that there were no notes and we got our damage deposit back. Our final goodbye was so emotional. There's no going back now. We've given up our apartment and we are officially without a home.